Welcome, everyone, to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Tom Wittenschlaeger. He is the CEO of AYRO Inc. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is AYRO on NASDAQ, and AYRO will be presenting at our upcoming Planet MicroCap Showcase Vegas, happening April 25 through 27, 2023. For more information, please go to planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Tom, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Hey, doing great, Robert. Thanks for having us. The companies continue to make progress from when we last spoke. And so the things we talked about, we continue to advance on the number of vehicles we're building. We're preparing for homologation to get our vehicles through, basically a crush test, a roll test, a crash test, and cafe testing out in California. We're making tremendous progress in the patent and trademark space and intellectual property. We've now had two pretty key patents granted. And as we look in our dealer development activity area, that's progressing quite nicely as well. So overall, all the things we talked about pursuant to, being a disruptive entrant into the low-speed electric vehicle space, those things are in fact happening, and the progression we've made is quite good from when we last spoke.
Absolutely. And for those that may have missed that last interview or some of the other interviews that we've done together, can you give folks, I think they could probably get from that update that, obviously you're in the EV space, EV manufacturer, but can you give folks that quick overview of how you're differentiated from some of your peers out there?
Oh, sure. So look, in the low-speed electric vehicle space, that's a space defined by vehicles that are governed by law to 25 miles per hour. They may operate in public streets where the speed limit is 35 miles an hour or less. And of course, they can operate in closed communities, in resorts, in marinas, inside airports, inside schools, inside arenas. And so fundamentally, the way we differentiate ourselves is in a couple of really big dimensions. First of all, we're built to automotive OE standards. So we're not built to low-end commoditized golf cart standards. We're built to automotive original equipment standards. That's number one. Number two is we're an American designed, American sourced, American made, and American supported product. So we meet both sustainability objectives and we meet Buy American criteria. And of course, the third way that we're differentiated is we're a connected platform, not an unconnected platform. So vehicles can be operated collaboratively. They can be operated in a way that safety is maximized by giving them alerts when there's incoming weather. They can minimize damage to the surfaces they traverse by, for example, in a golf course, when a golf course or resort operator sees weather coming in, they can issue an order for golf cart path only, get everybody off the grass, reduce, tremendously the maintenance costs. And finally, we're differentiated in that we can reduce fleet sizes because a common chassis can accommodate a great many different payloads. So instead of buying 300 trucks that are single use, you can buy 100 vehicles with a plurality of payloads and simply reconfigure them every morning. So those points of differentiation, in our view, are pretty material.
Very good. Well, in that update, you kind of hit on some of the when I asked you about what's next for AYRO, we published that the last interview we did together on January 18, 2023. Let's dive in a little bit deeper on some of those, I guess, just some of those markers, some of those things that you're continuing to work on. What within the company has been the main focus within some of the things that you've already accomplished, but then also want to compound on as we're moving forward?
So the main focus right now is preparing for manufacturing. And so because we're an largely American sourced vehicle, so what I mean by largely is 85% North American content. We get a little content from Northern Europe as well. But fundamentally, our supply chain goes from Ontario, Canada, to Detroit, to Elkhart, Indiana, to Austin, Texas. So that is a one-day loop for an 18-wheeler. And having a supply chain that is that uniquely, let's just call it heartland-based, the center of America-based, is is kind of a big deal because nobody else is doing that. And our whole philosophy is we'd rather give our neighbors money than somebody 9,000 miles across the ocean. It just seems reasonable. It also seems good business. And it seems very sustainable to have a one-day truck supply chain instead of an 80-day ship supply chain. So getting the supply chain operating is right now the principal focus because we're approaching low rate initial production, or LRIP, release right after homologation. And we're actually quite proud of the fact that we are unique in being truly an American built vehicle, which you can't find any other vehicles out there. Now we're American built. We're also American built to original equipment automotive standards, which means not only are our vehicles North American, but they're an order of magnitude higher quality than the kind of stuff that people import from across the Pacific.
Very good. All right. Well, look, Tom, to close us out here today, from what you can tell us, as you mostly alluded to, the real focus is on, getting to production. I'll rephrase this a little bit, but again, from what you can tell us, what are some of your hurdles to get you there as fast as you want to get there?
Well, I mean, it's the normal stuff. Okay, the vehicle is comprised of 800 discrete assemblies. And so to build one, you need 800. $799 doesn't get you there. So the complexity of synchronizing an 800-piece inbound order chain and then synchronizing the way that it gets staged in flow racks in the factory, and then synchronizing the way that a vehicle progresses through that factory, in our factory, through 9 different stations, being taken from basically raw mat to finished goods. There's a level of complexity there that would escape a typical person who hasn't done it before. Proving, Robert, that everything is easy if you're not the guy doing it.
Right. Yeah, I love that. That's funny.
So that's kind of where we are, and I hope that's helpful.
That's it's a tough road, but hey, I appreciate each update that you do bring here. So, Tom, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on AYRO?
Well, just at AYRO.com, and obviously on Yahoo Finance under ticker symbol AYRO, and of course our press releases get wide distribution. We generally are doing a press release these days almost every other week. So any of those places work.
Very good. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you in Vegas.
Thanks, Robert. See you there.